What is going on, everyone? We are back again, and obviously, there's been a lot of news going around in the sports world recently, and we are here to talk about it. I'm Adam Avin,
I'm Zach Roisman.
and this is episode 22 of Make Your Point.
Hey, you're watching Make Your Point.
So, guys, welcome back to this very special episode of Make Your Point. I say that every episode, but every episode is just a special one because I'm here with you, Zach. And obviously, we've taken a little bit
I
of
don't agree.
obviously we've taken a little bit of a break, and since now that we're back, there are a couple things we got to recap. Obviously, the Masters happened. I think we'll get to that a little bit later in the show. Golf. The March Madness finished, the NCAA tournament finished, and Baylor crushed Gonzaga 86-70 in the national championship game. They completely shut them down. Props to Jared Butler for winning most outstanding player in the tournament, and for Baylor for just being absolutely amazing. Not diminishing Gonzaga's talent at all. I picked them to win. You picked them to win. A lot of people picked them to win.
I did not pick them to win.
You didn't pick them to win. A lot of people picked them to win, including myself. And they were the favorites for the beginning for a long time. So, but still, props to Baylor for winning, and they did a great job of locking Gonzaga down. But now that we're kind of caught up to speed with some of the major sports events that have happened over the past couple of weeks since we've been gone, something more recent that's happening is the NBA is getting very close to playoff time right now. And as we take a look at the Western Conference, and the standings are kind of all over the place right now. The Lakers still have AD and LeBron out from injury. They're currently sitting fifth in the Western Conference. AD is set to return in 2 weeks. LeBron in 3. Zach, what big of an impact do their injuries have on the Lakers' playoff chances this far? Because if they fall to 7, that means they could be possibly play in the new play-in tournament for those final 2 playoff seeds, the 7 and 8 seeds, if they fall. So how are their injuries affecting the Lakers right now?
I'm not really worried. Yeah, they could fall, but honestly, I think that once they're healthy, they really are capable of taking on any team in the West. I think that there's a couple that could give them a challenge, but I think the only ones that are going to be a real challenge are going to be the Jazz and the Suns, the Clippers, Nuggets, Blazers, Mavericks. They can take them. The Grizzlies, they can take them, and especially when they are healthy. So I'm not worried. Obviously, it's preferable for them to have a higher seed, but I think that they'll make the run that they would regardless. I don't think that it's really going to affect their playoff chances at all.
Yeah, so as we take a look at the standings right here, first place, we got the Jazz. They're just absolutely crushing right now. They have the best record in the NBA. The Suns are in second in the West. Third, the Clippers. Fourth, the Nuggets. And then fifth, the Lakers. But fourth, the Nuggets. We should be reminded that Jamal Murray, as of last night, went out of the game with a torn ACL injury. He's going to be out indefinitely. Probably will be sitting out probably for a little bit of the beginning of next season as well. So shout out to Jamal Murray. Hope he's rehabs well and gets back on his feet because he's a tremendous player. And you're right. I don't think it affects the playoff chances of the Lakers that much. But as we forget, this is a shortened season. Obviously, the playoffs last year, because of COVID, got postponed. They didn't finish until late October, so the offseason was shortened. They didn't start the NBA until Christmas, basically, and now it's April. So they're trying to get back on schedule for future years. So we're not playing 82 games this year. It's in the 60-70 range, so 10 games shorter than it usually would. So the playoffs are coming sooner. The play-in tournament is replacing those last 10 games of the year, basically, for this season at least. And so if the Lakers do fall and LeBron and AD are healthy, I see no reason why they won't make the playoffs. As of now, though, I mean, the Blazers and the Mavericks, they got to pull some wins together, and I think they can do it. But if AD, hopefully he does come back in 2 weeks, and LeBron in 3, I think that'd be great. LeBron is obviously a physical specimen that's just unstoppable. I think he's going to rehab fine. But Anthony Davis's injury, that calf strain area, looked like when he was hopping off the court, it looked like an Achilles. They said it wasn't an Achilles, thank God, and he's not out indefinitely. But his injury looked a little bit more serious than LeBron's, just from the sight of it. So hopefully he comes back healthy as well, because for the Lakers to win, and as much as I could say LeBron can carry carry this team, which I'm pretty positive he can, it's going to put a big load on his back, which he's done in past years. But, with the help of Anthony Davis, that would just push them way over the top. And I think if he's healthy, they're going far. But let's move on to the next topic. Let's hope that Jamal Murray gets back healthy and that AD and LeBron come back, because I want to see a showdown in the Western Conference.
Well, last week, the Jets franchise quarterback Sam Darnold was traded to the Panthers for 3 future picks, none of which were first rounders, as the Jets are clearly preparing to draft the BYU quarterback Zach Wilson. How does this affect the quarterback market going forward?
I think it affects the quarterback market going forward tremendously. Just from the basic fact that, a lot of quarterbacks this offseason switch teams, and a lot of quarterbacks this season are also fighting for their jobs. And now with the rookie class that's coming in, and the Jets basically essentially saying like, yo, we're getting Zach Wilson, like we have the pick locked. The Jaguars have Trevor Lawrence locked, and now people are saying that the 49ers basically have Mac Jones locked at 3. And so, you have 3 quarterbacks going in the top 3. Fourth might be Trey Lance or Justin Fields. And who knows if another one's going to go somewhere in the top 10 or top 15. So, the quarterback market right now is very heavy. And if you're the Panthers too, you just get Sam Darnold. Hopefully he can pull something together and be good. He's probably going to end up starting for them. And, as he gets out of the Adam Gase system, maybe a Ryan Tannehill effect will happen. We saw it with him. He gets out. Teddy Bridgewater was with Gase too. He leaves the Jets. He goes on to the Panthers. Doesn't have a bad year last year. And then they obviously bring in Sam Darnold to North Carolina as well. But people are also forgetting Teddy Bridgewater signed a 3-year, $63 million deal. They're paying him $21 million a year. And $63 million, obviously quarterback status, that isn't elite, but that's still a lot of money to pay a player in this league, in any league, in any occupation or at all.
Just in general, it's a lot of money.
In general, it's a lot of money. But Teddy Bridgewater, first of all, they're having a quarterback competition there. If Sam Darnold out of Gaze, and now he's with Joe Brady, who worked with Joe Burrow and other quarterbacks, he's obviously a much better offensive coordinator than Adam Gaze was, clearly. But now you have Robert Saleh in New York. You bring in Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson looks like a clear-cut pro. That being said, and I know you agree, I don't know if anyone in the Jets system can just do well, because it's been very rare that a Jets quarterback could succeed. I think Mark Sanchez, when Rex Ryan was there, they went to an AFC championship and ultimately lost to the Patriots, or the Broncos, I believe. But it's just, I don't know how a Jets quarterback can succeed. Zach Wilson does look like an accomplished veteran already. I don't know what the future holds for the Panthers quarterback system, though. Robbie Anderson is paired back up with Sam Darnold. So his only 1,000-yard receiver he's ever played with. So hopefully that connection comes back as well. So now that he's out under the Gaze umbrella, he's paired back with an elite receiver. There's a little quarterback competition there in the Panthers QB in the locker room. Maybe that puts Sam Darnold over the edge and he competes well. As for Zach Wilson, I wish him the best of luck. I still don't see him doing much in the NFL.
Yeah, and I mean, you said pretty much everything, but I agree. Zach Wilson's not going to make it. That season that you referenced, going to the AFC Championship, that was over 10 years ago. I don't think that he has any chance to succeed. Zach Wilson, I mean, in New York. With that being said, I think that Sam Darnold was very talented and he showed glimmers of it, but he was in a broken system, in a just awful system that nobody could be successful in. So I think that he's good. I think that he could do significantly better on the Panthers. Will he? Who knows? Because the Panthers really aren't that amazing either. But anything is a step up, even if it's a little bit of an adjacent step, almost a lateral step.
I mean, I did say, though, I've been saying this, Joe Namath came out and said, like, not too long ago, like, Sam Darnold sucks. Like, every analyst he sucks. Like, except for like Mike Greenberg, who like is a big Jets fan and wants to believe in his quarterback. If it was any other quarterback, if it was Mahomes, it'd be all over ESPN. But because it's Sam Darnold,
he's right.
Like, I get it, but like, come on, man, he's not that good. And
we don't know that. I don't think Mahomes would be that good on the Jets. I think Mahomes would be mediocre at best on the Jets.
It's all about situation. It's all about coaching. But I mean, maybe he does good in this next chapter of his life. And speaking of next chapter of his life, there's been a lot of questions recently about Russell Wilson drama, where he's going. Is there kind of bad blood there in Seattle? So, we're trying to figure that out. Carlos Dunlap, Seahawks defensive lineman who went there last year and just re-signed with the team this offseason, did a radio interview where he, quote, said, I did ask him if obviously he was going to be back with us, because if I'm coming back, I want to pick up where we left off. And he told me he's with us and he's here to stay. And he said, let's go Hawks. These words are not his words verbatim, but these are my explanation of how I interpreted what he said. So, Zach, after you hear those comments by Carlos Dunlap, who says he had a personal conversation with Russell Wilson about the future of his NFL career and the Seahawks NFL career, is the Russell Wilson drama over?
I hope so. I have no idea. There's really no way to know unless, you never know what's happening behind the scenes. So for all we know, it could keep going just behind the scenes. Hopefully it's done publicly at least. I'm happy that he's there. He has been with the Seahawks his whole career. He is their franchise quarterback, and it'd be a really terrible blow to that organization to lose him, not just as a valuable member of the team, but as a character, as a person, as a member of the organization. He's a leader. He's all of those things. He's really important to the team and to the fans as well. So I'm glad that he's staying. I think that he can have a huge impact on the game and will continue to do so if he stays. Now that he's staying, allegedly that he's staying.
I hope that he stays there. If you talk to anyone, he ends every conversation with "Let's go Hogs." Carlos Dunlap mentioned it there, in his quote there, and he's Russell Wilson is obviously a tremendous player. Obviously, he's kind of created a little bad blood with head coach Pete Carroll. The offensive line, which he's been bashing over how he's never protected anymore. He has great pieces there. He has great receivers there. But, for him to come out or his team to release it, we still don't really know. A lot of mixed things going around in the air here, but to release basically 4 teams where he would want to go play, the Saints, the Bears, the Cowboys, and another of which I'm blanking. But also he was in the conversation with Miami, with the Panthers, with the Texans were thrown out there. Like there were a lot of teams with scenarios for Russell Wilson and coming from his QB camp, team 3, and so there was a lot of talk going on, and I just hope everything can kind of be repaired, because I think, not only to lead a football team, you got to have that trust. And in past seasons, I don't think that trust has been broken. We haven't seen it be broken. We've seen them bounce back from failure and go to the Super Bowl. We've seen them, get down into. We saw them start last year off 5-0, lose, and then start winning again towards the end of the season, and ultimately make the playoffs. So I wish the best for Russell Wilson, and I hope that they can get things back to where they used to.
Recently, ESPN released a list of the top 25 NBA players under the age of 25, and it was met with some criticism, some apprehension. So we'll go ahead and talk about it now. Their top 10 was Luka, Zion, LaMelo, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Darren Fox, Ben Simmons, Devin Booker, Bam Adebayo, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. What do we think of that, Adam?
I think, first of all, my first thought when you read that list, and obviously I saw it over the week, posted everywhere, and how Stephen A, it's blasphemous. Everyone, it was ridiculous. And the fact that Devin Booker is 8 is just blows my mind. If I had anything to do about it, and we'll get into that in a minute, I would. He should be number 1 or 2 at least. Him and Luka, top 2. They both should be up there. If I'm being completely honest with you, the only other thing that I really have a problem with this list is LaMelo being at 3. He's obviously an outstanding player for his age. He's 19, but 6'8", can shoot the 3 like it's nothing, dunk, drive like it's nothing. His passing and just his playmaking ability is just outstanding. And obviously he's sidelined with an injury right now, but overall he's a great player and he has a lot of potential. But he is not better than Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Ben Simmons, Bam. Like, he's not better than them. There's a bunch of players who are left off this list as well, who I think deserve to be on there as well. De'Aaron Fox, good player. Don't have a problem with him. Shai, don't have a problem with him. To me, those make sense.
I'm glad you have no beef with these NBA players, Adam.
I mean, would I have them on my list? I don't know. But I don't have an issue with it. The only things I have an issue with is Devin Booker being so low as he is, and LaMelo Ball being way too high. And to be honest, I
Yeah.
don't even know if he should be top 10. But your thoughts?
No, I definitely agree. I do think it should be the top 10 just because we're talking in terms of potential, not just how good they are now. However, 3 is a stretch. He has not proven himself yet enough to be that high. I think that Bam deserves to be there. He's definitely an underrated player. I mean, he gets some of the attention he deserves, but maybe not as much as he should. I think that the only player really that's outside the top 10 that really should be is Trae Young. He's way down at 16, and I guess you could say maybe not in the top 10, but 16 for sure is too low, especially when you look at how high someone like LaMelo is. Can't have LaMelo at 3 and Trae Young at 16. And then of course you mentioned Devin Booker. Devin Booker at 8 is ridiculous. He's absolutely top 3, and I don't know how the argument really could be made otherwise. As for the rest of it, I agree. You got someone like Lonzo Ball that's low on the list, but on there, and that's certainly, I'd think pretty accurate. He's great, but he's not a superstar, so he's on there, but not super high. Ja Morant, he's at 15. I think that he's an underrated player. If you look at the extent to which he's had an impact on his team and how well the Grizzlies are doing, I think that he is super underrated. With that being said, 15 is probably fair to place him, if anything, maybe a little bit higher when you look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander being 10. But, for the most part, I'd say that's fair.
And I mean, obviously, it's the same as us giving our opinion. Obviously, we haven't been in the NBA industry or insiders for, 20 plus years, like everyone at ESPN or other organizations
Right.
have, the people who made this list. But
Are you trying to tell me we're not qualified?
No, I'm saying we're extremely qualified, just as everyone else,
Right.
because it's all opinion based, and
Right.
they can, preach this NBA player is better than this one, but in reality, even other analysts on their own, like Stephen A. behind you, was yelling on TV saying the list that people at the company he works for made is absolutely ridiculous. He said, I don't even know who the hell these insiders are, who they think that they can make a list this ridiculous. So, I think, obviously should probably taken a little closer of a look, but I mean, I do have to say, for one thing, if they do have LaMelo at 3, and I think that's probably the thing that stands out to me the most, besides Devin Booker being at 8, like I mentioned, but I think the fact that they all made their own list, and as an average of their list, LaMelo was 3rd, and like a list of all of theirs together, I think that says something, and they see a lot of potential
who
in
has
him.
him higher than 3? Who's having him at 2?
That's
Who
the
has
thing,
him
right? Like
Right.
I can't imagine too many people have him in I mean, I don't know, to be honest with you,
Means
but
either all 3 of them agreed or at least one of them had him
I'd
higher,
love
which
to
is
see
insane to me.
I'd love to see all three, 5, how many
Yeah.
insiders put that list together of their list. But anyways, guys,
Melo Ball, number 1
obviously
player under 25 in the league.
we're here talking about the list that ESPN insiders put out last week. We actually made our own list, or we're going to make our own list, as well as some of our Make Your Point crew as well are going to put theirs together. That will be on our Instagram at Make Your Point Show. Make sure you go follow that and leave in the comments your top 10, maybe give some input on our top 10s as well. So be sure to stay tuned after this episode drops to go look at our Instagram and take a look at our under 25 years old or equal to 25 years old top 10 NBA players.
But you're not allowed to criticize me. Only
you're not
Adam.
allowed. Yeah. Well, my birthday is April 19th. So if there's someone you shouldn't criticize, it should be me. Your birthday's after. So I will point that out. Anyways, guys, time is running out here. The game is on the line. Zach, what's that time for?
I think it's time for overtime.
Overtime.
Overtime. 3, 2, 1.
Overtime.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
That was good.
The rules are simple. We have 1 minute to talk about 5 topics. So, Adam.
Yeah, wait. Hold on. Hey, guys, can we get the timer?
Who are you talking to? Your job is your job to put it on.
The producers in the back, they're over there.
You are the only producer.
No, there's 10 of them. All right, anyways.
Yeah.
Countdown, please.
All right. 5, 4, 2, 1, go.
Alex Rodriguez was part of an ownership group that bought the Minnesota Timberwolves and Lynx for a reported $1.5 billion. Is this a big deal?
Not really. It's just another rich person and rich group buying a team. No. Mavericks owner Mark Cuban called the NBA's play-in tourney an enormous mistake. Do you agree?
I do agree a little bit just because this is a shortened season, and I think that teams that deserve to be in at seven, I don't think a team at seven should be in a play-in tourney. Former Steelers running back James Conner signed a 1-year deal with the Cardinals to replace Kenyon Drake. Is this a good move for both teams?
I'm gonna say maybe. I have absolutely no idea. We're just gonna have to wait and see. It could go either way. Hideki Matsuyama won the Masters, the first Japanese-born player to do so. What are your thoughts on that?
I think this is such a big deal for him. He played tremendous, and it's a big deal for Japan as well. Congrats to him and the future of Japanese golf players. Is Miles Bridges' dunk over Clint Capella the dunk of the year?
I don't know about dunk of the year, but man, that was pretty amazing.
Yeah,
The Hornets announcers go off on everything. They went wild on that one.
It was absolutely crazy. And
Was.
I watched it. I watched that live actually. I was like,
I mean, I could do better, but you know.
We got to get out. We'll do a live make your point of we'll do our own dunk contest and on an 8-foot hoop.
We actually played basketball the other day.
8-foot hoop.
Adam did horrible. I scored all of our team's points. Yes, you did do horrible. I scored like 80% of the points.
Yeah.
Adam couldn't guard anyone. I only had like 2. I was only scored on like twice. They dropped like 20 on Adam. Super embarrassing.
That's all for us for this episode of Make Your Point, you guys.
Sorry.
Episode 22.
Make sure to like and subscribe and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Make Your Point Show. We'll see you next time.
Apologies to our dear friend Shaquille O'Neal. Sorry we couldn't get you on the show this time, man, but we will try next week.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe.
And remember the golden rule.